Elliott wandered through the dead city half aware of what he was doing or where he was going. The further he went, the less he felt like he was actually walking in the waking world, instead traveling through some terrible dream. Part of him wanted to push the reality aside. The other tried tackling it as best he could, but it wasn't an easy task. Even as he searched for anything useful, he began imagining himself falling on the roadside while attempting to fulfill his mission. He couldn't get the image of his starved, parched body from his thoughts. That same body wouldn't continue no matter how hard he pushed it. He watched himself stumble and fall to the ground. He saw himself unable to rise, surrendering to his weakness. It didn't take long for the breathing to slow and his eyes to close for the last time, and then it was over. He had failed. Failed Sir Pillam, himself, his people, and Pyre. It wasn't something he wanted to dwell on, but he couldn't get it out of his head no matter how hard he tried. He might have been able to subdue the thought for a spell as he came across items of possible interest, but it would soon return. Thankfully, he was able to keep it from the forefront of his mind, lest he find himself entirely unable to function. As it was, he'd secured various items, which he'd put into a sack he'd taken from an empty house. There wasn't any food here he could find. He'd have to take what he could from the camp after he'd finished in the city. He did find some extra clothes and a dagger he could use. He'd managed to collect some pieces of wood he thought might be suitable kindling, but nothing in the way of water. There were plenty of items around, but nothing needful for the journey. He had no need for any of the statues or tapestries he found in some buildings. He wasn't concerned with gold and gems, though he did pocket enough to have on hand should he have need of anything along the way. It wasn't the way Pyre normally cleared a town or city, but it would have to do. He wasn't able to do anything the proper way. Hopefully this would be the only time he'd find himself unable to fulfill his duties. He wasn't about to consider making such slackness in regard to protocols a common occurrence. Sir Pillam had taught him better than that.